Today we're testing out popular 48-volt batteries, but these ones are extra large. They're the size of 3 server rack batteries each, so each one is around 300 pounds. These are not easy to move, but they're usually a really good price. So first, here are the brand names, the capacity, and the current price. And you'll notice the batteries on the right are more expensive. That's because these are UL listed. So if you need to legally permit your system, or if you want insurance for your home, these are the batteries that you need to buy. These batteries might be cheaper, but you can't legally permit your system. If there's a fire and you have insurance, they might not cover it if they think it's from these. Another major difference is these are outdoor rated and those have to be used indoors, and that can change the price quite a bit. And to test these batteries, I had to use my massive 18 kilowatt battery cycling machine. And this allowed me for the first time to push these large batteries to their absolute limit. Now first I tested capacity, but these batteries are not the same age. These 2 batteries on the right I've had for 3 years, and this one in particular I cycled like crazy. This one was for my first hybrid system, and I put 12 megawatt hours through it. I did forced charge and discharge cycles like 24/7. And this one I barely cycled at all. And then I put them both into a metal building in my backyard in Las Vegas for 2 summers. 2 years non-stop, and I never charged them a single time. And the batteries on the left are pretty new, and here are the results. And even though this one has all that cycling done, it's only 0.006% of a difference compared to the Ruixu. But they both have about the same amount of calendar aging. And we've been saying that for a while. People are always scared to cycle their batteries, and it's like, why? Cycling is not damaging these things. The natural processes that occur over time, the calendar aging, that's what's going to kill these. Charging and discharging with solar is a joke to these things. They can do it all day long. They use these cells in electric vehicles that do way higher charge and discharge rates. So yeah, here are the results, and they did pretty good. Now the next test is where things got fun. I did a continuous 200 amp cycle, and here are the results. The Yixiang batteries failed miserably. Look at that. That is really bad. So first I took this thing apart, I hit it with a heat camera, and the fuse was getting so hot that it was tripping the BMS. And this is what the fuse looks like. And look at the cables next to it. This thing was at 220 degrees Fahrenheit. And it was creating so much heat you could see a difference in the temperature of the cells next to it. That is not good. So for my next test, I bypassed the fuse, and it seemed to have fixed the problem. But then I opened up the horizontal battery, and it didn't have a fuse. And the cells were about the same temperature. It was uniform, which was a good sign. But it was still tripping early. So I did some more testing, and I realized that the BMS is very sensitive around 200 amps. If you drop it down to 198 amps, it will pull the same numbers as the Ruixu. Now the clear winner of this test was the EG4, and it's pretty impressive considering it has the smallest capacity of them all. But when I opened it up, I realized that this compartment is much larger, and the BMS is far from the cells and the breaker. And on cheaper batteries, if the cells run hotter, that will cause the whole battery case to get hot, and then it will trip. But in these larger batteries, that's not the case. All I found was a really hot fuse tripping the BMS and a really sensitive overcurrent protection setting. And in the Ruixu, the BMS is pushed up on the side. It's a really good design for replacing the BMS easily, especially compared to this thing. But yeah, it doesn't handle heat as well, and the BMS is closer to the cells. So the EG4, for the design, it was the best. The BMS was far from everything, and that allowed it to run longer than everything else. Now I want you guys to understand that that last test is not for testing the cells. And in all of those tests, even when they disconnected early, the cells were never getting hot. These cells can handle a lot more current. Now the Ruixu and the EG4 are rated for 140 amp charge and discharge continuous cycling. And if you do that same test with the Yixiang, even if it has the overheating fuse, it never gets hot anywhere. Even the MOSFETs stay below 40 degrees Celsius through the whole test with back-to-back cycling. So that's a very easy test, and all of them pass. But that's not what I'm testing for. I'm doing a 200 amp cycle test to test the BMS and everything else. Now, besides the fuse, I still like the horizontal one better because you can stack them. This has the best volumetric density out of, I think, any battery I've ever tested. If you stack 4 of these, you'll get the same capacity as 2 server rack stacks, which is crazy. But is it code compliant? If it's not UL listed, it probably isn't. Now, between these two, this one is cheaper and it gives you more capacity. And it's very easy to use. I do like these batteries a lot. But the one thing I like about the EG4 a lot is the built-in bus bar system. So you don't need to have an external bus bar and a bunch of wires going everywhere. And on the Ruixu, you have to add it separately. They sell one and you can connect all your batteries to that, but it looks pretty messy. Also, these batteries you have to build, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. These things are hard to move, especially if you have to put them up and down stairs. It's very difficult. These ones you can build in place so you can move the boxes to an area and then build it in one spot. You don't really have to move much of anything. It's just a bunch of small boxes with cells. So out of all these batteries, to conclude this, I would say the Ruixu, if you want a vertical mount UL listed battery, it's fantastic. This thing is great. Now, if you want the best performance and the best looking system with the integrated bus bar system, I would go with the EG4. And if you're not permitting your system and you can build it in place, these are fantastic. But understand the risks associated with non-UL listed batteries. And I'm gonna start saying that in my videos because it does matter. And that's pretty much it for this video. Everyone has a different application and use case, so whatever works best for you is great. I just wanted an excuse to use my new machine and figure out the software. So I hope you like the results and I will see you in the next video. Bye.